Hi, hello. So today we're going to be talking about all the drama going on around Robin from High School Musical? From Honkai Star Rail. Why did I think High School Musical? Okay, anyways. So I'm going to try and do this in the most concise and understandable way possible. But how possible that will be is hard because this whole thing is a dumpster fire. This whole drama is started because of Robin's sexuality. And to start this, I guess I want to talk about her sexuality and how implied she is. So her queer coding. First off, let's talk about the dots under her eyes. Now, a lot of people have shrugged this off or laughed about it, saying it was a stupid thing, but hear me out. Every part of a design is purposeful. Hu Tao's skill with the butterfly, that's intentional because butterflies stand for the soul. The plum blossoms on her hat, literally everything about Hu Tao is connected to the afterlife and death and stuff like that. So just in general, in Hoyoverse characters, they do such a good job of like making a design work, whether or not that design is good or not. Cough Dory, cough. But they do a good job at like creating a good design, you know? My thought is like her whole color scheme is blue and purple. Robin's whole color scheme is blue and purple, but then she has pink, white, and orange under her eye. Like, if it wasn't supposed to mean something, why not do the color of her eyes, which is like a green, blue, yellow color? Why not do that? Or do like a gold or something to match her jewelry and stuff. But no, they specifically did pink, white, and orange, which are colors that are not in her color scheme at all. It really comes down to, like, have you ever heard of that thing where it's like, oh, the teacher says that the blue curtain is supposed to mean sadness and blah, blah, blah. What the author really meant, it's a fucking blue curtain. That ruined media literacy, because looking into why the author is giving us details, like, you're not gonna, as an author, you want to throw in details that matter. You don't want things that are like throwaway, that, oh, that's blue because it's blue. They wouldn't add it if there wasn't a reason for it. You know, everything has a purpose in things that are created, because the creator makes them have a purpose. Out of all the colors, they chose the lesbian pride flag. You gotta admit, like, them choosing that specifically rather than like a blue or a yellow and like a golden blue, which would fit her color scheme really well actually, but like a yellow and blue and silver, something like that would fit really nicely. But they chose the lesbian pride flag colors. So obviously there's a meaning for those colors to be there, rather than something that matches her overall aesthetic more. Here's the bigger piece, because a lot of people are going to shrug that off, like, oh yeah, that's colors, those are dots, maybe you color, I don't know. So she's based after the author Emily Dickinson, who is a queer author. She had all these love letters written with her best friend. So the title of the Robin song, If I Can Stop One Heart From Breaking, is the first line of an Emily Dickinson poem. It says, if I can stop one heart from breaking, I shall not live in vain. If I can ease one life the aching, or cool one pain, or help one fainting robin unto his nest again, I shall not live in vain. Robin's name is mentioned in the song. First line is the name of the song. So there's obviously ties between her and Emily Dickinson. Dr. Tang Chen, a neurobiologist and guest speaker for the Approaching Dreams video, held up the book Envelope Poems by Emily Dickinson. They know of Emily Dickinson because they have a book of hers, and so people connecting it isn't like that far of a reach. Now, I don't know. Basically, Robin is heavily implied to be like Emily Dickinson. I'm not the best person to ask about this, okay? But there's a lot of connections between Robin and Emily Dickinson, and a lot of people are using that to say that she is sapphic. She likes women, you know? So that aside, right, I told you all the reasons people are saying that she's a lesbian. There's probably more. I don't know them all. I'll look up more, and if I find any really good threads and stuff on it, I'll put them below in the description. So a mass amount of people believe that she is lesbian, including me. And so Tuanto, who got caught in the crossfires so badly in this, he posted, quote unquote, guys, do I have any chance with her? Be real. Please lie to me. And it shows a photo of Robin. And then some people decided to make jokes. These are jokes, no matter how people took them. dating Robin headcanons, male reader ex-Robin, she leaves you for a woman. And like that's basically the overall vibe of all the responses to that post. People were like, she likes girls. And like no one that I saw was being aggressive about it. It was more just like kind of offhanded jokes. Now, that didn't cause much discourse on its own. As I said, they were jokes. People were taking them as jokes. There were some people who made like little offhanded shitty comments about how the Yuri community is toxic and blah, 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 blah. But it wasn't anything abnormal until Tectone decided to comment on this. Now, I've made a video about Tectone before. I have a lot of different stances now than I did then. Back then, I was more willing to give the benefit of the doubt, and after a lot of stuff he's posted in the meantime, I don't feel like giving the benefit of the doubt as much anymore, because there's only so much you can give before realizing you're just being ignorant or ignoring what's in front of you, you know? So basically, Tectone got involved in this, and he tweeted, I may have to bleep this, but the screenshot will be on the screen. Can't wait for the R34 of Robin attempting to buff allies with her singing, but she can't because she's too busy sick. I'm so excited to pull for this very straight woman. By the way, I talked to Dawei himself. He himself told me that she was straight. Very cool. And now because of those tweets, and a bunch more, there's other ones that I didn't put in my document. There was a tweet that he didn't tweet, but he like started to type out on a stream. I think I have that. I actually do have that. Hold on. You see, with videos like this, I try and have them as planned out as possible so I don't have to go searching for stuff while the camera's running. Can't wait to go against Robin in the final fight of HSR Part 2.2 and get Jingyuan to fuck her in order to silence her singing and prevent her from buffing her allies. Like, listen. I think there's a huge difference between saying, hey, I disagree with your interpretation of the text versus getting Jingyuan to her in order to silence her singing. And we know Tectone's just doing this on purpose to start drama, obviously. But as Beto's VA said, I will reiterate what she said because it was very, very smart. Tectone makes this post to piss off queer people. And then, obviously, they get pissed off from the tweet. And then he's using that response to monetize and to, like, get money from it. He's monetizing over the anger, the outrage of queer people, which is not, like, good, you know? And he's never gonna stop doing this. I mean, look at the drama with every single content creator he has. Like I think it says something when half the people in the same content space as you are in do not want to associate with you, or only loosely associate with you. But back onto the point. So Tectone made all these stupid tweets, and then of course because of this, because of the lesbophobic audience he has that I talked about in the last video, but the last video I gave him the benefit of the doubt that he's not trying to make his audience like that, but the way he talks is creating that type of audience. Now he's just talking like that. He went all out and is now just being lesbophobic. He's cultivated this audience of people who are lesbophobic or pick-me queer people, so he can say whatever the fuck he wants. When he says something, every one of his little incel followers is like, oh my god, you king, you're doing so great. Another W for Tectone. In his community, there's comments like this. The Yuri community are the only types that ruin a game to enforce their headcanon that every character should be a lesbian. Weirdos. Everyone here needs a reality check. If being normal is homophobic, I might be one as well. The gays are malding hard. Every girl is straight now, let's ruin everything for them. And what's wrong by being homophobic? So there's one tweet I want to highlight and talk about. Tectone did eventually repost this tweet, but I want to talk about the tweet on its own and not the repost of it, because the repost doesn't add anything of substance to it. Not that a lot of what he does adds substance to anything, but this person says, this is why we can't feel comfortable around straights, by the way, is because you don't know how to act normal. If you think that saying every character is a lesbian is ruining the fun, but this is acceptable behavior for you, get checked in. And the tweet has photos of Tectone's tweets about Robin or whatever. So people are responding to that tweet, saying stuff like, it's crazy how many people that cry and moan about being accepted, even when they are, but will always default to wanting to be segregated for my comfort. I feel like the irony is so thick you could build a bunker with it in which they scream into the echo chamber in. The other person basically only said they feel uncomfortable around straight people. So is it not okay for people who are oppressed to feel uncomfortable around their oppressor? Because being a queer is a minority, and being straight, cis, het is the majority, the oppressors. And then some people are equating that to homophobia, saying feeling uncomfortable around straight people for their sexuality is the same as straight people feeling uncomfortable around gay people. But again, straights are the oppressors, gays are the minority. There's a difference between a minority saying, my oppressor makes me feel uncomfortable, versus an oppressor saying, this minority makes me feel uncomfortable. I feel like people just are so stupid about this stuff. It's completely valid for people who are minority to want to be friends with other people who are minorities, who have been through the same stuff, the same types of discrimination, the same types of stereotypes, all that stuff. You want to be around people who you share experiences with, and it makes you feel more comfortable when someone has shared that experience with you. Hell, TMI, but when I'm dating, I prefer to be with another trans person because there's some experiences that trans people have that not many cis people will understand. Some will. No, not all men, not all whatever. It's safer to assume that another trans person would understand my experience better than a cis person would. Like, the average trans person would understand, but the average cis person may not understand. It's the same thing as that man versus bear in the wood argument. How on TikTok they're going wild about, oh, would you rather be in the woods with a man or a bear? Like, just think, what's the worst case scenario for a bear? Oh, you get mauled. What's the worst case scenario for a man? Sexual assault, killing. Men are more intelligent than a bear. There's more bad things that can happen to you in the woods with a man than in the woods with a bear. And the whole debacle of man versus bear shows how men don't want to be told no. Like, women are saying, hey, I'd feel more comfortable with a bear. And men are like, what did you say? That's a bear you're talking about. Back to the point. It should be valid for people to feel less comfortable around the people that are oppressing them. Obviously. And then there are people, like YouTubers that I've seen, who are like, oh, it's a fictional character, blah, blah, blah. You're getting so upset about a fictional character. Even people who are pro-ship understand the fact that fiction and reality kind of go hand in hand. It's not a 1-to-1 ratio, but in a lot of circumstances, like, the general way people treat gay people is also going to be the general way people treat gay people in fiction. Like, the way we interact with fiction mirrors reality to a certain extent, especially about overarching issues. Look at how they represent trans people in fiction. Or how they used to. They're doing a little bit better now, but, like, not much. And the thing is, this YouTuber who I'm not gonna name, also was like, oh, you're harassing real people over fiction, as though this whole thing didn't snowball out of control because this guy was baiting queer people into getting upset. But it's totally our fault for harassing people. And I'm saying our because I am a Yuri fan. And I'm a Robin lesbian supporter. This video is going to be hell to edit, and I probably forgot some stuff. But I'm going to get going now. Cheers. This is my strawberry drink that I made before filming this, and all the ice is melted. If you want, I can make a TikTok about how to make this drink, because it's so good. I'm so proud of finding this out. Okay. Bye. Oh yeah, and comment, like, subscribe. Let me know if you want another video like this. Next week, I promise I'm going to be doing What Your Honkai Star Rail Ship Says About You Part 2. Bye, guys.